Okay, the lecture topic today is behavioral endocrinology. Behavioral endocrinology, that is a new area. Simply, it is called hormones and behavior. How the hormones affect behavior. On the other hand, how the behavior affect hormones. That's what we are going to learn in this lecture. So I will tell you what is, basically I'll tell you what is meant by hormones. Hormones are quite different to the pheromones, right? You have learned a lot about hormones when you are in the advanced level, right? So we are not going to talk in detail about the hormones, but I will briefly mention what the hormones are, and then I'll tell you what is meant by behavioral endocrinology. So actually, study of the hormones is what you call endocrinology. Endocrinology, study of the hormones. So under the behavioral endocrinology, we study how the behavior is affected by the hormones, hormone concentrations. This is a new area you are going to learn, right? And then I will tell you about the dual functions of hormone. The hormones have two major functions. The hormones control the physiology of animals. Hormones also control the behavior of animals. And then some major techniques that the behavioral endocrinologists use to study the behavioral endocrinology. There are four major techniques. We are going to learn about those four different techniques. And then I'll focus on the human development and production of sex hormones, because it has been found that it is the sex hormones mainly affect the human behavior. Then again, why humans? Reason is that human behavioral endocrinology, it has been studied widely by the behavioral scientists. And then finally, I'll focus on the human sex hormones and the human behavior. So that is what the plan in this lecture today. Let's learn very briefly about the hormones. Hormones. Ansara, Sarga, Sravaya. Now, in this diagram, as far as the human body is concerned, I'm showing you the major endocrine glands. The main glands that produce hormones. The pineal gland, that is, it occurs inside the human brain, pineal gland. Then the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is responsible for controlling so many different activities in the body. It is also one of the major hormone producing glands. Then the pituitary, the master gland, pituitary. The thyroid gland and the parathyroid gland that occurs somewhere in our throat. And then the thymus gland, pancreas, Agnyashaya and adrenal glands, Adhivrukka Granthi, testes in males and ovaries in female. If you remember now, the testes are responsible for the production of testosterone hormone. Testosterone. The ovaries, they produce, can you name the two hormones that are produced by the ovaries?
Estrogen and progesterone.
Yeah, estrogen, estradiol, and progesterone, right? So the hormones, now the pineal gland, for example, it produces a hormone called serotonin. Now, pituitary gland, it produces so many different hormones. Now, for example, ADH, antidiuretic hormone, right? LH, luteinizing hormone, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, so on and so forth. The hypothalamus, it produces GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormones, GnRH. And the thyroid gland, it produces thyroxine, right? Pancreas, it produces two major hormones, insulin and glucagon. Adrenal gland, it produces, cortisol. So likewise, hormones they are actually internal chemical messengers. You have learned about this, don't you? Internal chemical messengers. They're produced and secreted by endocrine glands. Now, these are the endocrine glands, major endocrine glands in the human body. Now, if you think about the other animals, like basically vertebrates, like dogs, horses, donkeys, pigs, etc., they also have the same set of glands in their bodies, right? Therefore, the hormones, those animals also have all these hormones: thyroxine, adrenaline, GH, testosterone, etc., right? So they are produced and secreted by the endocrine glands. Also, the hormones are carried in the bloodstream from the organ of production to distant organs. Right? The hormones are carried in the bloodstream. So again, the hormones are internal chemical messengers produced and secreted by endocrine glands, carried in the bloodstream to target cells in distant organs in the body. Now, for example, the pituitary gland produces ADH. Now, ADH works in the kidneys, right? And then the pituitary gland, it produces LH, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormones. Then they are carried to the ovaries and the testes along the bloodstream, and the ovary cells and the interstitial cells in the testes stimulate to produce progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone hormone, right? Now, these hormones influence different behaviors in animals. So the scientists who study the animal behavior, they are very much concerned how the hormones control the behavior of the animals. So those scientists who study the effect of hormones on the animal behavior, they are known as endocrinologists or behavioral endocrinologists. So in the field of behavioral endocrinology, the interactions between the hormones and behavior are scientifically studied. So what is meant by behavioral endocrinology? So behavioral endocrinology is, of course, a huge field in animal behavior, where the effect of hormones on the behavioral aspects of animals are studied. Now, I'll tell you a very good example. Now, look at this slide. Now, here in the slide, I have given you a a vertical section of the brain, the human brain, right? Now, this is the pineal gland that I told you earlier, pineal gland. It is inside the brain, right? Now, the pineal gland, it secretes serotonin, hormone called melatonin. Sorry, I made a mistake earlier, right? Melatonin. Now, if you look at this graph, you will understand that the melatonin is not produced during the daytime. Melatonin is not produced during the daytime, but it is produced when it is dark. Again, in the following day, the melatonin concentration drops, and as the night approaches, the melatonin concentration increases. So now the melatonin concentration varies within a period of 24 hours, during which time our sleep-wake cycle is regulated. Now, for example, when the melatonin concentration is very low in the blood, we are awake. as you see in this photograph. But when the melatonin concentration is high in the blood, then we feel sleepy, so we sleep. Understand? So this is a very good example that the hormones control the behavior of animals, right? So it's a very good example. Now, there are some people who suffer from a condition called insomnia. Now, insomnia is a condition where people cannot sleep at night, right? මේක හරි පුදුම කතාවක් වගේ තමයි ඔයගලන්ට පේන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රැට නිින්ද යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකට කියන insomnia කියලා. ඒ තත්ත්වයක් ලෙඩක් ඒක ඇත්ත. Now the insomnia is because of the low melatonin concentration in the blood. So if that person, the person who is suffering from insomnia, when he sees a doctor, the doctor often prescribes melatonin, pills known as sleep pills. So they are, the melatonin concentration would elevate, right? And they go to sleep. හරිද? දැන් මේක ඇවිල්ලා sleep pill එකක්. නිදිපෙත්ත. මේක විතරක් නෙමේ ලෝකේ තියෙන එකම නිදිපෙති තවත් කොටස් ಜಾති තියෙනවා. නමුත් this is a very natural one, melatonin. So again, I need to tell you that this is how the doctors use, the behavioral endocrinological aspects in treating patients. So the doctors come to know that, whenever there is a change in the hormone concentration, particularly the melatonin concentration, they think that it is related to the melatonin level. So the doctors prescribe it. So the doctors use this knowledge to treat patients. Okay. Okay. Now, after I'll tell you the dual functions of hormones. I told you that the hormones control the physiology of animals as well as the behavior of animals. So if you consider this small diagram in here, now the hormone, it has dual functions, two functions. Hormones, control the physiology in an animal. At the same time, hormone controls the behavior of the animal. Because the hormones control two major, functions, behavior as well as the physiology, hormones set to have dual functions. Now, why are these dual functions important? Why are these dual functions important? Now, for you to understand that, just read these two examples. You see, in example 1, I'm telling you the elevated levels of estradiol and testosterone. Estradiol කියන්නේ estrogen වර්ගයක්, right? The elevated levels of estradiol and testosterone, they cause gamete maturation. Also, now this gamete maturation is actually the physiology. And these hormones, the two hormones, estradiol and testosterone, they also control the sexual or mating behavior, right? Now, people who do not have estradiol and testosterone levels, high levels. So, for example, when you were young, when I was young, අපි චූටි කාලේදී estrogen එහෙම නැත්නම් testosterone level එක අඩුයි. දැන් වැඩි. හරිද? එතකොට චූටි කාලේ testosterone estrogen level එක අඩු වෙන නිසාවෙන් අපේ gametes ඒ කාලේ හදන්නේ නැහැ. අපි ජන්මාණු නිෂ්පාදනය වීමක් ඒ කාලේ සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරිද? But after puberty, in both males and females, after puberty, the estradiol level and the testosterone level increase. And because of that, sperm production takes place as well as the ova production takes place. Shukranu dimba nishpadane වෙනවා. And at the same time, these two hormones control our, sexual behavior. Now, because of these two physiological and behavioral functions, the importance is that, animals will show sexual behavior when they have mature gametes in their body. වෙන විදිහකට කියනවා නම් අපි චූටි කාලේ මේ hormones නැති නිසා අපිට ජන්මානුත් නැහැ අපේ sexual behavior එකකුත් චූටි කාලේ අපි දක්වන්නේ නැහැ. We show the sexual behavior only when we have these two major hormones in higher levels. The example two, during the pregnancy, I think you remember this, the estrogen level as well as the progesterone level are always high when a woman is pregnant. Then, ඔය hormones දෙක සාන්ද්‍රණය ඉහළ යන නිසාවෙන් the pregnant mother is always concerned about the developing baby, the baby that is developing inside her tummy, right? Now, this concern, the mother's, the behavior, help to, protect the unborn baby, right? Therefore, you will understand the dual functions of progesterone and estrogen ensure increased survival of the offspring. දැන් මේකේ තමයි මේ ප්‍රධාන කාර්යයන් දෙකේ වැදගත්කම වෙන්නේ. These dual functions ensure the animal's reproductive success. So I'm showing you some major hormones and their dual functions. Now, if you read this, when you consider the testosterone, the male hormone, its major physiological functions are promoting sperm production and also secondary sexual characteristics development. Then secondary sexual characteristics කිව්වහම පිරිමියෙක් කෙනෙකුගේ ඔය උරපතු පළල් වෙනවා, මාංශ පේශී ටිකක් විශාල වෙනවා, ඉංග සිහින් වෙනවා, ඊට පස්සේ ශුක්‍රාණු නිෂ්පාදනය කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා, මූණේ රැවුල් වෙනවා, පපුව ප්‍රදේශයේ රැවුල් වෙනවා, ඔය වගේ දේවල්. So those are the physiological functions. And the behavioral functions are promotes this particular hormone. It promotes sexual motivation and sexual behavior in males. Now, when you consider the female hormone, the estrogen, it causes the uterine and other female tissue development. Garbhashe sahani stree kotas වර්ධනය වීමට මේක බලපානවා. ඒ වගේම යාගේ secondary sexual characteristics ඇති වෙන්නත් මේ estrogen high level එක බලපානවා. And it's the estrogen's behavioral functions are it promotes sexual motivation and sexual behavior in females. So likewise, there are so many different physiological functions and behavioral functions that are unique to the major hormones in our body, right? You will understand these things if you read them, right? Now, consider the melatonin hormone, the hormone that I explained earlier. It produces in response to darkness. That's the physiology. The behavior is actually, it regulates the sleep-wake cycle in basically vertebrates. Okay, now you know that the hormones have dual functions. Number one, the hormones control the physiology of the animal. At the same time, the hormone controls the behavior of animal. There is another aspect. And that is the hormones control the behavior, and at the same time, the behavior control the hormone level, right? Now, this is how we can, show it in a simple way. The hormones influence the behavior, at the same time, the behavior influence the hormone level, right? Because the hormones influence the behavior, and behavior influence the hormones. The hormones are said to have bidirectional activities or bidirectional interactions. Now, for example, if you look at this photograph, now you see a beautiful girl as well as a handsome man, right? Now, the way the girl looks, to me, she is somewhat sexier. Hari? Now, uh, is a girl always sexy? ඔන්න ඕක අපිට පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙනවා. ඕක හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙනවා. ගෑනු ළමයි කැමතිස්සම මේ සෙක්සි ලුක් එකක් තියනවාද කියන එක. ඒක ඇත්තරම කියනවා නම් එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියන එක තමයි දැන් මේ ලෙක්චර් එකේදී ඉස්සරහට යනකොට ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙයි ඒක වෙන විදිය, right? Now I tell you now you know, when you consider the girl's menstrual cycle, you know, the menstrual cycle lasts for a period of 28 days now. මතකයි නේද මේක? ගෑනු ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ආර්තව චක්‍රයට දින 28ක් තියෙනවා. හරිද? Then around the 12th day of the menstrual cycle, you remember that the woman's estrogen level increases. හරිද? මේක naturally එහෙම තමයි හැඩගැහිලා තියෙන්නේ. සමහරෙන් දවස් 12 වගේ menstrual cycle menstruation ආරම්භ වෙලා දවස් 12කට විතර පස්සේ එයාගේ estrogen level එක වැඩි වෙනවා. And now as a result of this she becomes sexier. හරිද? ඔය menstruation එක වෙන අවධියේදී ඒ කියන්නේ අර්ථවේ සිදුවෙන දවස්වලදී she is not at all sexy. She is kind of irritant. I'll tell you how these things happen when we look at the menstrual cycle in this lecture, right? Now, at the 12th day, she becomes sexier. Now, this is an example where hormones influence the behavior. The elevated hormone level, the estrogen level, makes her more sexier. On the other hand, upon seeing this sexier woman, you know, the male's testosterone level increases. හරිද? මේක වෙනවා. මේක මෙහෙම වෙනවයි කියලා මේ විද්‍යාඥයෝ scientifically prove කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? So, this is an example where the behavior influences the hormone concentrations. There are many such examples, right? You see, at the 12th day of the menstrual cycle of a woman, her estrogen level increases, and as a result of that, she becomes, you know, more sexually appealing, and she becomes sexier, right? So upon seeing this sexier woman, the man becomes sexually aroused, and as a result of that, his testosterone level increases. So this is a unique example where the hormones influence the behavior, and at the same time, the behavior influence the hormone concentration. This is to say that the interactions between hormones and behaviors are always bidirectional. Now, I'll tell you some more examples where the hormones affect the behavior. Hormones affect the behavior. Okay. Now, pay close attention to these two graphs. හරි? දැන් මේක බලන්නකො මේ graph එක දිහා. මේ graph එකේ මේ උඩ graph එකේ x අක්ෂයේ තියෙන්නේ age එක. ගෑනු කෙනෙකුගේ හරි පිරිමි කෙනෙකුගේ හරි age එක තියෙන්නේ. හරිද? y axis එකේ තියෙන්නේ average hormone production, sex hormone production, estrogen and testosterone, right? You see, when we are small, right? When we are small, these, you know, the testosterone and estrogen levels are so low. Can you see this? Kata karana, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, at the age of when we, when we grow and when we become around, say, 18 years and 20 years, what happens is that, the sex hormone levels increase. These sex hormone levels are very high when we are around 20. Now, I know that you are around 20. 20, 22, 18 අවුරුදු 18 19 20 21 වගේ වයස් පරිසරයේ කට්ටිය තමයි ඔයාලා. දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ ඇත්තම මෙම hormone levels අඩුයි. Now, as far as I am concerned, now I am now nearing 60. That is to say that my testosterone concentration, it was not as it was when I was 20. It has now decreased, right? Now, one important thing is how it relates, how the hormone concentration relates to our sexual behavior. Now, that is explicitly explained in the lower graph. You see here, මේ x axis එකේ ආයිත් පෙන්නන්නේ age එකම තමයි. හරිද? දැන් බලන්න මේ y axis එකේ මෙතනදී පෙන්නන්නේ hormone concentration එක නෙමෙයි, මෙතන පෙන්නන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ sexual appeal එක, appetite එක. How sexy they are. When we were around 10, we had a certain sexual appetite, but it was not that high. But when we are around 20, our sexual appetite, male and female sexual appetite becomes very much high. And as we age, this sexual appetite will go down. This is to say that now your testosterone and estrogen levels are very high. Therefore, you are a group of people whose sexual behavior is very much in high levels. But when you come to my age, this the libido, your libido කියලා කියන්නේ ලිංගික ආසාව කියන එක ක්‍රමක්‍රමයෙන් අඩු වෙලා යනවා. Now, all these are related to the hormone levels. හැදෙයිද ඔයගලන්ට මේක? So this is one way of saying that the hormones affect our behavior. Now, another example. You see, there are people, some men, who in their blood, they have small amount of testosterone concentration in the blood. Then, hormone, testosterone level එක අඩු වෙනකොට নানা ප්‍රකාර කායික වෙනස්කම් පිරිමින්ගේ සිද්ධ වෙනවා. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට low sexual appetite. හරි. එතකොට මේ එහෙම නැත්නම් ප්‍රමාණවත් විදිහට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ penis එක ශිෂ්ණය ප්‍රාණවත් වන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. දැන් මෙන්න මේ වගේ වෙලාවට if they go to a doctor, so the doctor knows about this condition, therefore he prescribed artificially produced testosterone treatments. These are known as anabolic testosterone treatments, human-made testosterone. Now, you see, when you look at this graph, the මේ graph එකෙන් ඔයගලන්ට පෙන්නන්නේ testosterone සාන්ද්‍රණය ඉන්ජෙක්ට් කරන ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙනකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ sexual appeal එක වැඩි වෙන්නේ. උදාහරණයක් වශයෙන් total erection එක වැඩි වෙනවා, testosterone concentration එක වැඩි වෙනකොට. See this red one. Then nocturnal erections. රාත්‍රී කාලයේදී ලිංගික ප්‍රාණවත් වීම වැඩි වෙනවා. testosterone level එක වැඩි වෙනකොට. coital attempts. සංසර්ග උත්සාහයන් වැඩි වෙනවා. masturbation. masturbation කියන්නේ ස්වයං වින්දනය කියන ඒකත් වැඩි වෙනවා. You see orgasms. ඒක ඔක්කොම වැඩි වෙනවා when the testosterone concentration is very high. Right? Now, knowing that the testosterone concentration increases the kind of the body activities, some athletes, in many sport events use, these anabolic testosterone doses. Now, for example, these are female athletes. Now, they can run faster if they get, performance enhancing anabolic testosterone treatment. That's the same reason why before and after sports event and international sport events, the blood tests are carried out. මතකද දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අර සුසන්තිකා ජයසිංහත් එක්ක එක සැරයක් ඔලිම්පික් එකකට දිව්වා මට මතක නැහැ මේරියන් ජෝන්ස් කියලා මතකද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අහලා තියෙනවද?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Marion Jones got the first place, 100-meter run. Susantika got the second place. But it was later revealed that Marion Jones, she had elevated the testosterone levels in her blood. So the doctors said it was as a result of the performance enhancing. She has taken this performance enhancing testosterone. So immediately she was disqualified and she was, ripped off the gold medal, and Susantika got that. Susantika came the second. So Susantika got the gold. Now there are some instances where some people take too much testosterone, particularly the males. So when that happens, some kind of uncontrolled behaviors, violent behaviors known as roid rage happens in some people. Very interesting things these are, so therefore I'm telling you now that the hormones affect the behavior. Now, you also should know how the behavior affects hormones. තමයි මෙතනදී මේ උදාහරණ තුනෙන්ම කිව්වේ hormones මගින් behavior පාලනය කරන ආකාරය. දැන් අනිත් පැත්තට behavior මගින් කොහොමද hormones පාලනය කරන්නේ? හරි? දැන් බලන්නකො මේ photograph දෙක. Now there is a fight between two monkeys, right? Now there is another fight between it was a boxing bout, right? Here we have the winner, we have the loser here, right? The winner, the මේකේ පේ පින්තූරේ හැටියට නම් මෙයා තමයි winner වාගේ පේන්නේ ජයග්‍රාහකයා. මෙයා තමයි කොහොමත් මේක ජයග්‍රාහකයානේ. It has found that after winning in a particular event, for some days his testosterone level usually elevates. හරිද? ඔය අනිත් පැත්තට මේ ලූසර් ගත්තොත් එහෙම ලූසර්ගේ ටෙස්ටොස්ටෙරෝන් ලෙවල් එක අඩු වෙනවා. ලූසර් කියලා කියන්නේ පෙරදුනා කියලා කියන්නේ there is so many physiological things taking place inside him. එතකොට මේ උරිස් ඇකිලිලා ඇකිලෙනවා ඇඟ ටිකක් ඇකිලෙනවා ඔය වගේ දේවල් වෙනවා. As a result of that the testosterone level also drops. හරි. දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය මිනිස්සු උනත් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය පොඩි ෆයිට් එකක් ගියාට පස්සේ ෆයිට් එක දිනපු එක්කෙනා ටිකක් පපුව පුම්බගෙන එහාට මෙහාට ටිකක් ඇග්‍රෙසිව්ලි ඇවිදිනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා ඇති. Have you seen that? The බල්ලොත් එහෙමයි. බල්ලෝ උනත් when there is a kind of a dog fight, there is always a winner and a loser. The winning dog, it becomes somewhat aggressive. That is to say, it is all because his testosterone level elevates. I'm giving you another example also. Now, this example comes from birds. You see, here, the birds, during the breeding season, they defend territories. Territory කියලා කියන්නේ වසමක් කියන එක. මේ කුරුල්ලාගේ සත්තු ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ප්‍රජනනය කරන කාලෙදී ඒගොල්ලෝ කුරුල්ලන්ට තමන්ටම කියලා චූටි ප්‍රදේශයක් වෙන් කරගන්නවා. We call that a territory. ඒකට ඒ territory එකට අනික් පිරිමි කුරුල්ලෝ එන්න උන් එන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකට ෆයිට් කරනවා. එක්ක ෆයිට් කරනවා එහෙම නැත්නම් ඌ ටෙරිටරි එකේ ඌ අනික් පිටින් එන සතා එහෙම වළක්වන්න එක එක උපක්‍රම දාන එකක් තමයි සින්දු කියන එක කට්ටිය. That's a way of communication. Right? So, whenever this territorial bird is alone, you see his testosterone level is somewhat stable in the blood. Now, as soon as there is an intruder coming, its testosterone level increases, and at the same time, its aggressive behavior also increases. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is how we can explain the dual functions of behavior. Now I will tell you the major techniques used in behavioral endocrinology. පොඩ්ඩක් මේක බලන්නකෝ මම මේක දැන් one such technique is known as surgery. For example, surgical castration. හරිද? කරාඹනවා කියන්නේ මේක මේ මම මේ කාටුන් එකක් හොයලා දැම්මේ කරාඹනවා කියලා කියන්නේ පිරිමි සත්තුන්ගේ වෘෂණ අයින් කරනවා කියන එක. හරි? Don't laugh at this one, but you will never forget the surgical castration if you remember this cartoon, right? වෙනවනේද කරන වැඩේ මොකක්ද කියන එක. So castration, right? Then another technique, okay, hari. Yang එතකොට after castrations, after the testes are surgically removed, the scientist can study the change of the behavior. So that is one technique, right? And another technique is hormone replacement. Hari, දැන් මේකේ බලන්නකෝ ඔන්න මෙතනදී මම පෙන්නන්නේ යම්කිසි පිරිමි සතෙකුගේ sexual displays y axis එකේ. එතන castrate කරනවා. Castrate කරනකම් ඒ displays වැඩි. But after the castration, what happens is that there is no testicles, no. There are no testicles. Therefore, the testosterone level drops. So as a result of that, the sexual displays are, dropped. But if we inject, androgen, the testosterone, artificially produced testosterone, again, these, sexual behaviors are, re-established. Right? Then manipulation of hormones. For example, testosterone, it is a hormone. It's an artificially, this testosterone can be produced in the laboratory, right? So after injecting the testosterone level, testosterone to the blood, so the change in the behavior can be observed even in uncastrated animals. Then change of correlational studies. How the, for example, the testosterone levels, change in males and females. We can study those things. Those are known as the correlational studies. දැන් අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා උදාහරණ ගන්න කියනකොට මේවත් වරින් වර කතා වුණාම අපි නේද? Now, so you will remember that these are the major techniques used in behavioral endocrinological studies. Okay. Now, I will from now onwards mainly concentrate on the human hormones and human sexual behaviors. Now, there's a reason for that. Now the reason is, the change in the sex hormones in the human blood and the change of the behavior, human behavior have been widely studied. Therefore, that's the reason why I take, particularly the humans for the, latter discussion of this lecture. Now, you see a sperm and an ovum. Sperm and an ovum, meet. That's what you call, this meeting is what you call the fertilization. Neither. Sansechana කියලා හිතන්නකො ඩිම්බේති ශුක්‍රාණුකයි. එතකොට යුක්තාණුවක් හැදෙනවා නේද? යුක්තාණුවක් හැදෙනවා. A zygote is produced. Now the zygote is a single cell and then it begins to divide. The one cell zygote divides to 2, then to 4, 8, 16, 32 cells, so on and so forth. It begins to, divide again and again, right? But at the very early stages, it is so difficult to identify the testes and the ovaries in the developing embryo. අරනේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මාස දෙකක් විතර යනකම් මේ වර්ධනය වන කලලේ ලිංගික අවයව ඔය කියන්නේ ටෙස්ටිස් නැත්නම් ඕවරිස් අඳුර ගන්න අමාරුයි. හැබැයි ඒක ඔයගොල්ලෝ තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ මේ අනාගත මේකෙන් මේ කලලෙන් බිහි වෙන අනාගත ගෑනු ළමයෙක් නම් යාගේ මේ සෙල්ස් වල තියෙන්න ඕනේ XX chromosomes පිරිමි කෙනෙක් නම් XY chromosomes තියෙන්න ඕන කියලා අඳුර ගන්න. හරිද? Now when you consider the Y chromosome in males, in the Y chromosome there is a special region. Actually it is a gene, and that gene is what you call the SRY gene. SRY gene. The SRY gene. Now at the 7th week of the development of this embryo, this SRY gene activates, and as a result of this gene instruct the ribosomes in the fetal cells to produce a particular protein, and that protein is what you call the SRY protein. SRY protein. The method capital SRY gene. The protein produces what you call the capital S, simple R. හරිද? මේක SRY කියලා කියන්නේ sex region කියන එක. SRY කියන sex region Y gene Y chromosome එකේ තමයි කියන්නේ. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේක මෙහෙම කියන්නේ sex region Y. ඒතකොට sex region Y protein එක හදනවා. Now when this protein is present, ඒ කියන්නේ පිරිමි කුලංගෙනේ. So then the testicles will begin to develop. Now in the females, they don't have this SRY gene in the corresponding X chromosome. Therefore, they don't produce this SRY protein. That is to say, then the testicles will not be developed in the females. Testicles even වර්ධනය වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා කියන්නේ එහෙනම් naturally ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කොමත් හැදෙන්නේ එහෙනම් ovaries එතකොට. හරිද? දැන් බැරි වෙලා හරි අපේ වර්ධනය වෙන මේ කලලේ මේ SRY gene එක මොකක් හරි විදිහකින් block කරලා කරොත් SRY protein එක හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ එහෙනම් ඈ. තේරුම් ගන්නකො එහෙනම් එතකොට XY තිබ්බත් හැදෙන්නේ පිරිමියෙක් කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි. එහෙනම් කවුද? Can you tell? Hello students?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell? Then පිරිමියෙකුලන්ගේ SRY gene එක block කළොත් එහෙනම් SRY හැදෙන්නේත් නැහැ. එහෙනම් testicles හැදෙයිද යාගේ?
No, sir.
No. එහෙම හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ යාගේ. යාගේ ovaries හැදෙනවා. මේක ටිකක් හරි අමුතු කතන්දරයක් වගේ පෙනේ. But you can read about these things, right? There are lots of information available in the internet, right? ඔයගොල්ලන් මට දැන් තේරෙනවා මෙහෙම ඔයගලන්ට ඉතින් මේ ගැන දැන් වැඩිපුර තව විස්තර හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. Because I'm giving you only the base for you to think further. හරිනේ? Now this happens. Now, around the 40th week, a baby girl or a boy is born. Right now, as usual, the boy has XY chromosomes as well as a testes. The girl, she has XX chromosomes and she has ovaries. Right now, after the birth, parturition. PARTU RITION, prasutia, parturition. right? Now, after the birth, now they grow under the influence of so many hormones, right? For example, growth hormones, thyroid hormones, right? So on. All the other hormones, but not uh, uh, the influence of testosterone and estrogen. හරි මොකද ඒක මේක අවුරුදු 12 විතර වෙනකම් මේවා හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. But in puberty, that is to say when they are around 12 years or 14 years, right? You know, naturally the age attending or the puberty takes place, right? Now, after the puberty, the secondary sexual characteristics develop. Now, these sexual characteristics are developed under the collective and coordinated functions of the HPG axis. ඔන්න දැන් අලුත් වචනයක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගන්නවා HPG axis. ඒකට අපි කියනවා hypothalamic HP, pituitary G, gonadal axis. හරිද? දැන් මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේක කියලා දෙන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක දන්නවා. ඔය කොහොමද දන්නවා? හරිද? නමුත් මේක බලන්න මේ පින්තූරේ දිහා. You see, now I'm going to tell you about the HPG axis, right? Here now we have the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. Now the pituitary gland at the age of 40 or 13, 14 or 15, right? The anterior portion stimulates. It is stimulated by the hormone GnRH, gonadotrophin releasing hormone that is produced in the hypothalamus, again in the brain. So under the influence of this GnRH, the anterior pituitary releases luteinizing hormones and follicle stimulating hormones, right? Now these LH and FSH are carried to the testes and ovaries along the bloodstream, and the testes and the ovaries are stimulated. You know, here inside the ovary, you know, there are follicle cells. මතකයි නේද follicle cells? කූපසෛල කියලා මතකද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So those follicle cells are stimulated, and the follicle cells now begin to secrete estrogen and progesterone, right? In the testes, there are small cells known as, you know, interstitial cells, antarala sila. So those are stimulated by the two hormones, and the interstitial cells then begin to produce testosterone. That is the ඔන්න ඔය වැඩේ වෙනවා. දැන් අපි බලමු කොහොමද ඔය ටෙස්ටෙස්ටරෝන් සහ estrogen, progesterone වලින් මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියන එක. Now, as a result of the production of these testosterone and estrogen, progesterone, etc., various different, you know, changes take place in the human body. As a result of testosterone, some changes occur in the male's body. As a result of the estrogen and progesterone, you know, some changes happen in the females, right? And those changes that happen after the puberty, they are known as the secondary sexual characteristics. I'm showing you the secondary sexual characteristics in this diagram. හරිනේ. බලන්නකො දැන් පිරිමි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මසල් මෑස් එක වැඩි වෙනවා. හරිද? ඇඟේ සංනිධ්‍ය වෙනස් වෙනවා. ශිෂ්ණය දිගු වෙනවා. ෆස්ට් ඒ කියන්නේ ශුක්‍රමෝචනය සිදු වෙනවා. වෘෂණ කොෂ විශාල වෙනවා. මේ උරපතු පළල් වෙනවා. මූණ පුරා රැවුල් වෙනවා. ඔය යටි මහ විපර්යාස ගොඩක් වෙනවා. හරිද? As far as the female is concerned, then you know, so many different changes take place in her body. For example, breast enlargement, right? The enlargement of the buttocks region, tattam pradesha vishala venawa, right? Then the growth of pubic hair and the menstruation, You know, all those things happen in her body as well. හරිද? දැන් මට මේ sexual characteristics ගැන නෙමෙයි මට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ මේ පාඩමේදී මේගොල්ලන්ගේ හදන hormones ගැනයි. So what is the hormone, major male hormone in males? What is it?
Testosterone.
Testosterone. And the major female hormones, what are they?
Estrogen, progesterone.
Estrogen and progesterone. Now I'm going to talk to you about this estrogen and progesterone. How these hormones change the the human behavior. Okay. So I'm in the next slide. I am going to show you Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you know Arnold Schwarzenegger? Have you heard about that man?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who is he?
He's a bodybuilder and actor.
Yeah, he's a bodybuilder and actor. Yeah. As a boy, I watched several films where Arnold Schwarzenegger acted. Conan the Barbarian, that was the first film. I was amazed by the sight of his huge body. He was so beautiful, handsome, right? Okay, so I'm going to show a photograph of Conan the Barbarian, and I'm going to show you a beautiful photograph of a girl as well, right? So, look at this now. Human hormones and behavior. Now, you see, the human sex hormones, the hormones that we were talking about, can be divided into two categories. The first category is androgens. The second category is estrogens. එබන්න මේ ඒකේ ව්‍යුහයක් දීලා තියෙන මේ මතක තියාගන්න නම් එච්චර අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් මම බොහෝ දුරට එකිනෙකට මේ ව්‍යුහ දෙක සමානයි. මේවා ස්ටෙරොයිඩ් හෝමෝන්ස් දෙක. ස්ටෙරොයිඩ්. මතකද මේ ස්ටෙරොයිඩ් කියනවා මේ බැඳිච්ච මේ කාබනික රින්ග්ස් කීපයක් එකතු වෙලා හැදෙනවනේ ස්ටෙරොයිඩ් කියලා ඉගෙන ගත්ත තේල් වලට ඉගෙන ගත්ත ඇතිනේ. හරි. මේ පොඩි ස්ට්‍රක්චරල් ඩිෆරන්ස් එකක් විතරයි තියෙන්නේ මේ androgen estrogens. Now, when you consider the androgens, one of the best known hormone is the testosterone. Now, this testosterone hormone is responsible for the maleness or masculinization. And the estrogens, there are several, categories of examples coming under estrogens. They are estradiol, estrone, and estriol. Right now, these three estrogens are responsible for the feminization. Street, you see now in the woman's body, the shoulders are narrow, but in the man, the shoulders are wider, right? The hips are bigger, but here the hips are somewhat narrower. Now, one thing that you should understand is that these testosterones are produced in the testicles. Another thing that you should understand is that in males, androgens, testosterone as well as estrogen, both hormones are produced, but the androgen level is very much high. In the female, they also produce estrogens and androgens, but their estrogen levels are very much high. Now, there is another thing. In males, in men, the testosterone level or the androgen levels are somewhat stable, high and stable. High and stable, high and stable. In the females, these estrogen levels, change. They change, they fluctuate during the menstrual cycle. මෙන්න මේ change එක, මේ වෙනස සහ පිරිමින්ගේ අර හැමතිස්සම ඉහළ නැගලා තියෙන testosterone level එක තමයි අපේ මේ හරි විශේෂත්වයක් දක්වන sexual behavior එකට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. So I will concentrate first on the female sex hormones and their behavior. Okay. Now, when you consider a woman, a female, right? I told you that, the estrogen levels and also the progesterone levels, change over the course of the menstrual cycle, right? Now, basically the change of the estrogen level, changes the woman's mood, the behavior as well as the choice for males. Hari, ඒක කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියලා බලමු දැන්. දැන් ඒක සඳහා මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පෙන්නනවා මේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ menstrual cycle එක. හරි? මතකනේ මේ menstrual cycle එක? මතකයිනේ? මේක අපි කරලා තියෙනවානේ. Advanced level වලදී, the menstrual cycle, in order to complete it, it takes 28 days roughly, right? Now this varies from person to person, woman to woman. The number of days usually vary, but generally speaking, it's 28 days. මේකේ ප්‍රධාන අවධි දෙකක් තියෙනවා. ඇත්තටම අවධි තුනක් තියෙනවා. සාමාන්‍ය 1 සිට 4 වෙනි දවස දක්වා විතර අවධියට අපි කියනවා menstrual phase කියලා. මතකද මේ? නැත්නම් ආර්තව අවධිය කියලා. හරිද? ඉන් පස්සේ 4 ඉඳලා 14 15 විතර වෙනකන් දවස් වලට අපි කියනවා සියුනිකා අවධිය කියලා. මතකද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට? ඉගෙන ගත්තා මතකද? follicular stage කියලා. Do you remember follicular stage? And after the 14th day until 28th day, that stage is what you call the luteal phase. එතන පීත දේහ අවධිය. So what happens is that during the menstrual phase, day 1 to day 4, the menstruation or the bleeding takes place. With the bleeding, the egg, the ovum in the unfertilized ovum in the previous menstrual cycle is, expelled from the body with some blood as well as from the slough of endometrium in the uterus. Now, after that, what happens is that under the influence of the LH and FSH hormones, immature follicle, which you call the secondary follicle, begins to develop. The number of follicle cells increase. So the follicle cells now begin to secrete සියුනිකා සෛල කියන ඒවා ශ්‍රවය කරන්න ගන්නවා ප්‍රොජෙස්ටරෝන් සහ එස්ට්‍රඩියෝල් කියනවා. ඒ නිසා මේ 14 විතර දවස්වලදී මේ එස්ට්‍රජන් ප්‍රොජෙස්ටරෝන් සාන්ද්‍රණය හරි ඉහළ යනවා. හරි? මෙන්න 15 වෙනි දවසේදී මේ සියුනිකාව ඇතුලේ හැදෙන ඩිම්බය නිකුත් වෙනවා එළියට. That is what you call ovulation. Now the lifetime of this the released egg is about 1 or 2 days, 2 days the most. If it does not fertilize within this 1 day or 2 days period, right, then it will die. Thereafter, the follicle cells will turn into a luteal body. පීත දේහයක් බඩපත් වෙනවා. හරිනේ? ඕක තමයි අත්‍තර menstrual cycle. Now, I need to tell you these things. Now, about 4 days before and during the ovulation, මට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ කාලේ. About 4 days before and during the ovulation phase. Now, this is the time where the woman has a ripe egg inside her reproductive cycle, reproductive tract. යාගේ ගර්භාෂයේ දැන් සරු ඩිම්බයක් තියෙන දවස. මෙන්න බලන්න මේකට වෙන්නේ මොකද කියලා. estrogen and androgen levels increase. කියවනේ ගණු කට්ටියන්ගෙත් මේක තියෙනවා කියලා. Her sexual desire increases. The preference for lean towards taller masculine men with more masculine faces and deeper voices. මෙන්න මෙයාගේ behavioral changes වගේ දැන් නිරීක්ෂණය වෙනවා. මෙන්න මේ hormones දෙකේ බලපෑම යට. හරි උස සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පේශි බහුල ඒ වගේම හොඳ masculine faces හොඳ පිරිමි මූණකට සහ ගැඹුරු කටහඬකට මේගොල්ලන්ගේ preference එක වැඩි වෙන මේ දවස්වල. They are also more interested in other men other than their primary partner. තමන්ගේ කසාද බඳපු එක්කෙනෙක් නම් මහත්ය ගැන විතරක් නෙමෙයි සෙසු මහත්තුරු ගැනත් හිතන්න පටන් ගන්නවා මෙන්න මේ කාලෙදි. හරි මේ කාලෙදි. දැන් ඒ වගේම මෙයාගේ අර මම ඔයගලන්ට කියවනේ ඇන්ඩෝස්ටරෝන් කියලා ෆෙරමෝන් එකක් ගැන. Aldosterone is the male smell, right? Now, she is inclined towards men who produces more aldosterone. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ පිරිමි ගතිය වැඩි කට්ටියන්ගේ තමයි මේ aldosterone වැඩිපුර හදන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ වැඩිපුර testosterone. හරිද? ඒ වගේම මේ කට්ටිය දැන් වක්කලාවට තමන්ගේ මහත්ය තමන් ළඟටම තියාගන්නත් උත්සාහ කරනවා. male guarding also takes place. මෙන්න මේ කාර්යය. මේ ඔක්කොම වෙන්නේ මොකටද කියලා හිතුවොත් ඒකට හේතුව තමයි nature has given us the blessing, nature has given her the blessing to attract powerful men at the ovulation day because that is the day where she has a fertilizable egg. තේරුණාද මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්? මේක තමයි මේ hormones වලින් මෙයාගේ behavior එක තීරණය කරන දේ. But what happens in the luteal phase? Now, a day after the ovulation, this released egg cannot, live. It usually dies. In passe anuwa මෙයාගේ මේ sexual desires තිබ්බට තේරුමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මේ කාලේ මෙයාගේ ඩිම්බේ නැහැ දැන්. තිබ්බත් මැරිලා ඒක. See how it happens. Now during the luteal phase or the non-fertile phase, women prefer men and women with more feminine faces or faces that resemble for their own. There are mood swings, irritability, depression, fatigue, and food cravings, etc. That is to say that they are not any more interested in men during the luteal phase. No for men, see? හැබැයි දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මෙන්න මෙහෙකුත් දැනගන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. දැන් මිනිස්සු උපත් පාලන පෙති පාවිච්චි කරනවානේ. දැන් උපත් පාලන පෙතිවල තියෙනවානේ මොනවාද උපත් පාලන පෙතිවල තියෙන්නේ? Can you tell me? There are two hormones, artificial hormones contained in the birth control tablets. Can you tell me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the hormones containing in the birth control tablets? බින්දුවයි 35 කතා කරන්න බයයි. හැබැයි යා ලියලා තියෙනවා progesterone කියලා. Thank you. estrogen progesterone තමයි වල තියෙන්නේ. අයි ළමයි කතා කරන්න බය වෙන්නේ කට්ටිය. Okay. හරි. දැන් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ birth control tablets ගන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ දන්නවද මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා? birth control tablets ගන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හැමතිස්සෙම රුධිරයේ estrogen progesterone level එක වැඩි. ඒ වැඩි වෙන නිසාවෙන් මේගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ ovulation කියන සිද්ධාන්තය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. ඒකෙදී පරණ ඉගෙන ගනිත දේවල් මතක තියාගන්නකෝ. Right. Now now this graph explains the woman's behavior in pregnancy and afterward, right? So another thing happens, you see during the if the woman has sex with the man and if the egg is fertilized, then she becomes pregnant, right? Then pregnant during the entire pregnancy period the estrogen level and the progesterone level is always kept high. It's always high. It's always high. Hari. Then pregnancy period එකට පස්සේ බලන්න මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ birth එකේදී එයාගේ winning hormones වගේක් ස්‍රාවය වෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. prolactin උදාහරණයක්. මෙන්න මේ prolactin කියන එක හරි වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ now this as a result of this hormone, you know, the maternal behavior towards the newborn baby would be increased. හරිද? ඉතින් ඕන් ඔහොම එකක් වෙනවා කාන්තා සිරුරේ. මේ පිරිමි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? දැන් හිතන්න පුළුවන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ. I told you earlier that as far as a man is concerned, compared to a woman, his testosterone level is always high. Didn't I say that? And this testosterone level does not change as the estrogen and progesterone level changes in a woman's bloodstream. So because the man's, the testosterone level is always high, his choice towards, females is always high. It does not change. Right? If you look at this photograph, me uda photograph එක දිහා බලන්නකො. මම එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා තවත් එක්කෙනෙක් එක්කත් ඉන්නවා. මම කියන්නේ පිරිමි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ sexual appetite එක, it is totally different to that of a female. Right? Now in a man's head, මේක තමයි මම කියන්න අවශ්‍යතාවය තියෙන්නේ, there is always women in their head. That is because, don't blame them, it is because of the high testosterone level in their bloodstream. Nevertheless, some sort of things happen in the males as well. For example, during the fertile phase of the menstrual cycle of the woman, what happens is that men hear the woman's voice more attractive. Their testosterone level elevates. පිරිමි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ testosterone level චුට්ටක් ඉහළ යනවා. අර ගෑනු ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අර ovulation period එකේදී. ඒ නිසාවෙන් මේගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් වෙනවා ovulate වෙන ගෑනු කෙනෙක්ව ටක් ගාලා අඳුර ගන්න. So as a result of that, a man becomes more attractive to the ovulating woman in the middle of the menstrual cycle. හරිද? දැන් මට මේ වගේ දෙයක් තමයි මෙතනදී ඔයගලන්ට කියන්න තියෙන්නේ. So you see, you will understand our sexual behavior it's a very, very complex subject. You will begin to understand now the human sexual behavior is completely governed by the blood hormone levels, basically the testosterone, estrogen and progesterone hormone levels, right? So we know that the human sexual behavior is governed by sex hormones, and at the same time the sex hormone levels are controlled by the behavior. So those are the aspects that are studied under behavioral endocrinology, how the hormones influence the behavior and how the behavior influence the hormones. So this is all what I have to tell you in this lecture.